I guess we can get going. We got a small group tonight, so if you guys have any questions or anything you guys want to talk about, just let me know. What I can do, I can start off by showing you guys something new that we've got in on all the tier 2 of our app channels. So Jeff, or somebody who's got their video, give me a quick thumbs up if you can see my screen. All right, cool. You'll see if you have tier 2 of the app channels now, you'll see internal navigation that our software is generating and managing automatically for you. So there's nothing that you have to do other than to turn tier 2 of the app channel on. So if you're in a media room, you want to have either tier 2 or tier 3 on. And then what you'll do is in the branded integration version, you will come in here and make sure you have enhanced toggled on. With enhanced toggled on and at least tier 2 of each app channel, that being the Twitter, the Reddit, the media room. Once tier 2 is turned on and you have enhanced on the media room, then these internal navigation options light up. So I can't tell you how awesome that is, but we're actually introducing internal linking and internal page linking to the other pages that have the integration built into it with the integration code. So whether it's the social, which is Twitter, Reddit, the Google review app channel, or the media room, all of those are now interlinked automatically by our system. You don't have to do anything other than turn it on. The other place you have to do that is in the Twitter app channel. You have to go to configuration and have to show navigation. Just make sure that's on show. Once that's, you have tier 2, enhanced, and in configuration, hit show, and then this internal navigation will light up. So that will, what we're doing is we're adding a ring of assets here, both external assets and tier 1 assets directly on the target domain, and then lighting that up with internal linking in automatically. And this is going to continue to expand, but all this is being handled by our integration code. So quite a feat of what's happening there, and it's you'll definitely want to turn that on so that Googlebot can find these interlinked assets. So that's definitely one thing that's new. It's a new that just went live last week, early last week sometime. So you can turn that on by, again, enabling tier 2, and then also making sure you have configuration here for this Twitter. It's the same thing on Reddit as well. You'll see configuration, show navigation, make sure that's on show, and you're good to go. So that's one new thing. Also, our help center. I don't know if Matt pushed it live for everybody, but it is live and working. So here's what. So help center is a deep integration with Teamwork Desk to provide some. Of course, it's not going to load now, right? Or did I change it? Maybe I changed it actually. I can't remember if I did this or not. It's a deep integration. No, that's not it. With Teamwork, and it allows you to, of course, it's not working here, but I think I have another installation of it. Let's see if this one's working. Yeah, there must be something happening with it. All right, team's gonna have to look into it. Well, I don't want to talk about it if I can't show it to you, but it allows us to do a deep integration with Teamwork Desk and then deploy their knowledge base directly into a target website with automatic markup happening around each of the knowledge base topics, which are nothing more than typically like an FAQ, knowledge base schema. So it allows you to create some operational efficiencies and provide clients a direct support experience on your target website while leveraging Teamwork's immense functionality that they have built into their support desk, or they just call it desk. but then bring a lot of that functionality into the forefront on your target site with our integration code. I guess something happened. We've been doing quite a few pushes over the last week. So it has triggered some bugs, unfortunately. And so the team is working through that stuff, but that's Help Center, which again, knowledge-based Help Center is kind of one. And it's an integration with Teamwork Desk. All you really need to operate this once, if you guys decide to use it, is a Teamwork Desk account, which is crazy. It's still pretty affordable. It's still the cheapest that I know of. It's only $8.75 a month to get one user account, which is all you need. And it gives you unlimited inboxes and a help doc site. How the help docs being knowledge base. So for $8.75 a month, you can get a Teamwork Desk account, and then once you have that, that account, then when you go in here to connect the app channel, you're going to generate an API key, and all you got to do is click on this, and our system will give you the instructions on how to go get your API key, get that. And then once you've got that, then there's a couple other things in here. And again, we give you the help topic on how to go get this information for your subdomain, your help doc site, and your inbox. And then once you save that, then this page basically you see right here in front of you gets, you use the integration code. And then this page is automatically generated through the integration code. And then when you click on knowledge base, it takes you to a separate page where the knowledge base all resides. And then that's all running off of the back end of Teamwork Desk. So it's a pretty cool integration for creating both operational efficiencies in both inbound support tickets for most agencies. They don't really, I find that a lot of agencies don't have a really good support desk system in place. Not that they don't have support in place, but a system in place to really back it up. Teamwork is great for that. Not that Teamwork is the only one, but I found that it was better than Freshdesk or Zendesk and cheaper. But it had some limitations with functionality within your website. You couldn't really do anything with it, so you had to use their external stuff, and it wasn't. Their external portal really isn't very user friendly, and it's obviously they don't have SEO in mind. We're leveraging knowledge base for SEO purposes while also using support desk and knowledge base for operational efficiencies. Answer frequently asked questions so that you don't have to have staff constantly answering the same questions over and over again. Obviously, as we begin to scale our software, as we are scaling the software, this has become really, really important for us as a company, so that it's not we don't have to have human beings constantly answering the same questions that come in for software usage. Same thing happens with an agency, whether it's questions around SEO, questions around monthly reporting, whatever. And this app channel can be activated for your client entities as well. So let's just say you're in the plumber niche. Well, plumbers have constantly the same questions that come up over and over again. And most plumbing companies never think of having a knowledge base on their website, which answers questions, but which also doubles as a really great knowledge base for SEO purposes, right? Because Google loves knowledge bases and FAQs that are answered. There's entire schema types for this type of information or content. And so operationalizing this along with using it for SEO is something that most agencies aren't doing. And they're definitely not using a solution like this and deploying it for their clients. You can create a plumber knowledge base with all of the common frequently asked questions. It doesn't really matter whether you're a plumber in Austin or a plumber in Las Vegas or a plumber in Miami. The bottom line is it's going to be the same FAQs across that entire niche by and large. So you could build an entire knowledge base for the plumber niche and then be able to sell this as a knowledge base and support desk for your plumber clients if you were in the plumbing niche, for example. So there's ways to use the knowledge base and Help Center app channel far beyond just using it for your own agency. So a couple of quick updates if you guys, I can see we got some questions too. I'll pop in here and see here. Live chat is a must on a website for 30% more leads. Yeah, I agree. And we use live chat from High Level. I don't know if you guys use High Level or not, but we use High Level. If you go to our website here, this is High Level. And it looks like live chat, but it actually is bringing that contact. I found, by the way, here, just as a quick aside here, Jeff, because you bring up that point, I have I have used and have tested other live chat options that are really more true live chat, like, like you can get on and start chatting live with the person, inside your live chat widget while they're on your website. Here's what I found with that. I found that I lost the majority of those leads because I never got their name or their phone number or their email address, and it didn't get into my CRM. So, I mean, having that functionality is really important to make sure that when someone starts a live chat, number one, that you force hey, what's your name, what's your email, what's your phone, as you see here. And that secondly, that it automatically gets into your CRM if hopefully you have one, and then that can trigger whatever automations you want, whether it be a chatbot, or a text message automation, or just an entire marketing campaign triggered. And so we use High Level for that. And I found that as soon as we switched from the old chatbot, which did live chat, but didn't allow us to actually force collecting name, email, phone, and didn't get it into our CRM, we were getting a lot less leads. And as soon as we switched in, I started getting literally 70% more leads. And that allowed me to trigger then in High Level, an entire follow-up sequence that was on automation, even though it wasn't, a true chatbot. Anyway, that's just my own experience with live chat. But I do agree that if you don't have a live chat lead capture system on your site, you're definitely missing out on leads for sure. Also, just another thing I'll throw out there. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. We use Get Emails. This is a fantastic way to capture 10 to 15 more more email addresses from all the same website traffic that you already have. So we use this on our white label site here. It's running, and we are definitely daily inside of our High Level account. So I have it hooked up with Zapier. So it's basically Get Emails. Once you do this, they give you basically a script that you have to put on the site. Now we run it inside of a Google Tag Manager script, but we would put it inside Google Tag Manager, but then we put Google Tag Manager on the site, and then we hook in Zapier to see, how do we do it with this, because it was a little bit like one extra step here. But anyway, we run Zapier, and then Zapier runs the contact, the name, the email address, and the phone if it gets it, right over into High Level. And then when it comes into High Level via Zapier, we tag it with a special tag. I think it says website lead is our, or website is the tag. And then that triggers an automated 12 email follow-up sequence to that person, whoever it is. And I assure you, this is very accurate. We have tested it. I know people who have gone to our site, and some of them are just even friends. And then sometimes they'll actually ping me on our live chat, right? And I'll get their name and their email through this, and then they'll end up being a double email inside of our High Level account, because Get Emails has captured them as well. So that has happened multiple times. So I know we're getting real live site visitors and their real name and their real email addresses. So speaking of ways, as Jeff brought up, the idea of making sure that you have live chat on a website to capture as many leads as you can get. This is another kind of secret sauce that we use to get truly about 10, or if you got 100 website visitors, you'll get 10 to 15 people that will be identified as a web visitor, even though they didn't fill out a form. Okay, so let me be clear. That's what's happening here, right? They're not going to your website and filling out a form. Get Emails is running a script on their website visit, and is in many different ways with their patent pending, software solution, whatever you want to call it, is identifying the website visitor anonymously and giving you their name, their email, and sometimes their phone. So definitely a great, it's pricing wise, they have gone up a little bit, but wow, they've actually changed it again. You have to go through it now. They've changed it, looks like, again a little bit since we're kind of grandfathered in. But check it out if you guys. Has anybody heard of this or used this before? I don't know. Anybody else use this before? Get email? All right. Yeah. Highly recommend, guys. It's worth it. It's a great thing to resell to clients as a solution too. So talk about it. I mean, this is a phenomenal solution because once it's set up, it's hands off completely forever. You never have to do anything else. And it just keeps giving your client new leads, right? And this will drip feed in daily. As they get daily traffic, it's going to identify, 10 to 15% of the anonymous visitors. And then boom, they got a new lead. So you don't even got to tell them what you're doing. Yes, you're right, Patrick. You don't even got to tell the client what you're doing. I mean, that's why we use Google Tag Manager, because that way they don't know it's get emails script. We give them the Google Tag Manager script that they got to install on their site. And I'm not measuring the open rate, Alfred, but I guarantee you it's high because they've been to our site. They were interested in something on our sites, and we identified them through get emails. And then we send them 12 different emails over the course of the next 12 months, one email a month. And I know for a fact that we have absolutely converted new agencies into being a new white label agency partner as a result of them landing on our website, get emails identifying them getting put into our follow-up sequence, and then them ultimately coming back and booking a strategy session with me. And then, ultimately, becoming a customer of one level or another. So I know for a fact that we have actually converted multiple agencies off of get emails. And if you run website retargeting as well, you're going to ultimately then be maximizing your website traffic, right? So like Jeff said, live chat, get emails, and website retargeting, and now you're truly going to be maximizing every unique visit that you ultimately drive to your website. Why do we do this? Well, because we know that 97% of all website traffic does not convert on the first visit. So drawing them back through retargeting, staying in touch with them by identifying them as an anonymous website visitor and then following up with them via an email. They may wonder how in the world did they get my email? A lot of people just don't even really, put two and two together. You're following them around with a retargeting ad traffic. You're following up with them via email now because you've identified at least some of them through this type of a service. And you're presenting them with live chats so that if they have a hot button question, you're not going to lose them because you don't offer live chat. So anyway. Let me see if there's other questions here. Patrick says, Lane Signal Genesys dashboard. Do you have video trainings on doing all this? No, because get emails and Zapier and Google Tag Manager has nothing to do with Signal Genesys. So I haven't done anything regarding that. I just threw that in because Jeff threw out that comment about having live chat on website to maximize website conversions. And so that got my brain in a quick little, rabbit hole here regarding this service, because I've never mentioned it to you guys before. And I know it works because we use it personally and we use it on some of the client campaigns. And like I said, it's a great thing to resell and sell as a solution and white label it, because as long as you put it inside Tag Manager, they'll never know what script is running on their website to identify their anonymous website visitors. And if you automate it into a high levels instance or through Zapier and any other CRM for that matter, now you're just feeding leads to your clients, and you're doing that through anonymous website visitors. Now, let's be honest, right? They're anonymous website visitors who didn't fill out a form and raise their hand and say, hey, I want, more information on your product or service. They obviously came to the website, so they're raising their hand by virtue of visiting the website, but they didn't give up their name and their email address through a form fill and get emails identified it through technology and cookie instances and all IP addresses and sorts of things like that. So, it might be a little bit awkward, or it might be a little bit different, connecting with them via email, that in that respect, but we just put them right into an email campaign and add value. All of our emails are about adding value and giving away, strategy or thoughts or, information that's valuable to agencies. Hopefully, every agency you're doing at helping your clients do that for their customers. It's, you don't really want to sell. You want to just educate and, provide information and strategy, whatever, things of value. And so when we send those emails out, they're just valuable emails with good information. But it reinforces that they were at our website. It reinforces our brand, right? Top of mind, keeping that. If they got busy and got distracted, and that's why they didn't take action while they were on our website the first time, now they got an email from us potentially, or they're seeing our our retargeting ad traffic that we're following them around with, and we draw them back. So this is really important stuff to do as an agency for all of your clients, not just for your own agency. I mean, definitely be doing it for yourself, but for sure be doing it. I mean, this is a great solution. Like I said, this plus retargeting is a phenomenal recurring solution to package and sell to a client. Maximize your website conversions, right? I mean, like Jeff said, a live chat widget, get emails, and retargeting. Sell that as a maximize your website or conversion rate optimization on your website. Convert the majority of your, or how to convert a larger majority of your website traffic, versus what they're doing now. If they don't have this set up and they're not doing retargeting, they're missing out on a bucket load of their website traffic. So, and once this is set up, it takes literally minutes to set up. You're done. You just keep collecting the bill every month, and there's the software, everything just keeps, I mean, I literally haven't done anything since the first day I set this up for our own selves or for the clients. It's just a one and done setup, and that's it. So anyway. So Samir says, by any chance, does this go high level? Sorry, just joined. No. So this, what Get Emails does, Samir, is it identifies a web traffic, anonymous web traffic, and like I said, on their claim, and I can attest to it. It's not 100%. They'll say 10 to 15 times of your traffic. So if you get, for every 100 website visitors you get, their system will identify by name and email address, sometimes a phone number as well, these website visitors that are coming to their website. That is a lead. Now, it's not the same lead as if somebody goes to their contact page and fills out a form, right? I mean, but these are real bona fide website visitors. So what I'm talking about here is this, plus we bolt on Zapier, and then we zap that name and that email address, that website visitor that was identified, into our high level account. So here you go, site leads, site leads, site leads. That's all Get Emails right here. So 2 hours ago, 5 hours ago, 19 hours ago, 1 day ago, 1 day ago, 1 day ago. So three, I'm getting, and that's about right too, guys. I'm getting about 3 a day off of our website. So, so that's what I'm describing there, Samir, is basically Get Emails using Zapier, running it into our CRM, which we use high level. And then that site lead tag triggers an automated marketing campaign. And that site lead is going to get 12 emails from us over the next 12 months automatically. And I'm not doing anything. I'm just basically staying in touch with them with soft touches, just like I would if I were doing website retargeting and just following them around with ads. Our emails, we know they were on our website. We have their email address now. And so we're just going to send them soft touches and stay in touch with them to try and lure them back again, through, more information and staying in touch. So that's what that is. Yeah, I've only revealed, I mean, there's a few people who know about this. I revealed this to our 7-figure agency group last year, and kind of showed them how we set it up, and with tag manager, Zapier, high level. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of people who don't know about it, so take it and run with it. It's definitely worth it. And like I said, selling it as a solution with retargeting, with get emails, with live chat, chatbot automation. It's a huge need for agencies to be able to sell to end business clients, because businesses are horrible at converting web traffic, maximizing web traffic, and then also they're horrible at nurturing and engaging and following up. I mean, Salesforce, and there's the whole CRM world has exploded in the last 10 years because it's such a huge need in the general world of business to help businesses follow up with their leads and nurture them and engage them into a close. But this, really maximizing website traffic is kind of a miss in many cases. I see even a lot of businesses that don't even do basic website retargeting. Like, website retargeting is like so cheap, right? You can get 1,000 impressions for, $2, $3, $4, maybe at most $6, 1,000 impressions. So super cheap to get 1,000 impressions, and that's retargeted audience. So these are people who have been at your website. So now you're just following them around, trying to draw them back. And there's so many businesses that aren't even deploying retargeting. So you combine retargeting plus the get emails plus some automation into it. It's a really magical, great solution to sell, because it's set up and then it's done. You really don't have to do anything ever, in month 2 or month 3 or month 4. The software keeps fulfilling for you, which is what I love. Jeff says follow up till they buy or die. And I mean, maybe you've heard this, maybe you haven't, but Gary Keller, from one of the founders of Keller Williams Realty, did a study, I don't know, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. It was in his first book, but because of being in the real estate industry and having, they exploded and they had access to a lot of data. They did, a lot of testing on responses and engagement, with an audience. And they found that their sales conversions skyrocketed after the seventh touch. And they noted in the study, and as he was kind of compiling the data and doing the research and interviewing their agents and such, that most people gave up after 1 or 2 attempts to reach out. Actually, I think Shift is a newer book, Patrick. The first book, I think, was The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. I think was the name of the first book. But yeah, I mean, 7 touches is what they found, and most salespeople give up by the 3rd touch. And so, it's who's that author? I forget the name of the author. It's one of the old classic books, but talks about how so many people give up digging for gold, and they give up digging just before they about to strike gold. And that's the kind of the cliche with sales is, if you don't really follow up with people at least 7 times, then you're not going to maximize your conversion. So have whatever automations, you have in place, the automated marketing campaigns you have in place. You always want to, touch people at least 7 times. It seems excessive in some cases, but, people are, People are, we're bombarded. So we're very distracted, with technology and advertising messages and marketing messages. And so, the repetition is definitely part of the success. The 7-figure agency group, Patrick, is that's Josh Nelson's group. And it's he's got a free Facebook group called Digital Marketing Agency Success, which you can join. That's I'll talk to William. Maybe we can do a little bit of training around this, since you guys, I haven't been using it and really haven't heard of it before. Thomas says, how much would you charge for this service? I'd say, well, so retargeting depends on your ad cost. You're going to have some ad spend, but for GHL, get emails, retargeting, $1,000 a month. Maybe add your retargeting spend on top of that, but $750 to $1,000 a month just for the solution, and the automation and the subscription to the GHL account, the Zapier account, all that, managing it, making sure it stays connected and all that in case it does lose connection or whatever. But $750 maybe plus ad spend on retargeting, or $1,000, something like that. I mean, if you pick the right niches, right, all they got to do is convert one, and like one a year for some of these niches, and it'll pay for itself. So pick the right niches to sell it to, and all you got to do is convert one of those otherwise lost anonymous website visitors, or through retargeting, just by bringing them back. It'll pay for itself all day long, ROI, with all the right niches. How to sell this to clients? I mean, I would simply, you could build some stats around this, but I don't even know what I'm searching here. But how many website visitors are lost? So, just some quick stats here. 53%. I mean, we know most websites are taking over 3 seconds to load, right? I mean, so you just get some statistics out there about website traffic and bounces, and you could even work website performance into this conversation. This is a great way to get into into businesses too. I mean, in terms of getting their attention. Because there's a lot of agencies are all selling SEO, PPC, whatever. Converting the traffic that you're already generating. I mean, it can be transformational for some companies. Imagine if you could help a company that had already really good website traffic, just convert 20% more of their traffic next year. I mean, imagine 20% growth and not having to do anything else but just convert more of your existing website traffic you're already getting from your existing efforts and spend or whatever. But you're missing so many of those people, because the bottom line is that the majority of website visitors that hit your website will not convert. That is, I mean, I've heard 97%, like 3% convert. But whatever the stat may be, it may be 5%, maybe it's 10%, maybe, and I'm sure it varies. I mean, there's some websites that are going to do better than others, but even if it's 10%, that means 90% of all your website visitors you're not converting on. So if you don't follow them with retargeting, if you don't identify them and stay in touch with them, think of all the opportunities that get missed. And you're paying for those website visitors, right? With whatever marketing spend you're doing, with whatever you're spending on SEO and PPC and social, or however you're generating the traffic, whatever you're spending, you're paying for every single website visitor. So if you're paying to drive it there, why wouldn't you invest in maximizing the conversion of those people, which includes identifying them, tagging them or cookieing them, following them around? And you don't have to tell the business clients all the tech that's involved. I mean, you can make it sound like you're going to follow all their website visitors around manually. It doesn't really matter. But I mean, what I'm saying is, sell the hole, not the drill. I mean, people know that there's a gap there, and no one's really talking about it in the agency world. Yeah, Graham, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Yeah, so but think of how many business owners and how many agencies aren't following that strategy and saying, hey, if you've driven the website visitor here, you've spent all this time and money and effort on SEO, on all these tools to generate the rankings that you get the traffic, and then you drive all this traffic, but you only convert a small fraction of it. So it would behoove us as agency owners to advise our clients on strategies and methods on how we can maximize the birds that are in the hand, which to me, that's the website traffic. That's the unique visitor that I drove through my SEO efforts or my PPC efforts. And now I've got them on my website, but I should know that a large majority of them are not going to convert right there on that first unique visit. So what are we doing strategically as agencies to help our clients make sure that we don't lose that bird? So we follow them around. So website retargeting is the really low-hanging fruit that it surprises me more people don't do it, but get emails is a little bit more ninja, not as widely well known, and that's why it's great to sell it and resell it using Google Tag Manager, so that's white labeled, because their script does say get emails in it. I mean, their script is just, it reveals exactly who it is, and their branding is pretty good. So people go out and search for it. So if you just use the right marketing around this, and use Tag Manager, the clients will never know it's the get email service, and you can there's certainly enough enough profit there. They're not gouging it. So you're still enough, you can mark this up, especially if it's a whole package solution with retargeting, with get emails, with Zapier, and got a high level and automation and a live chat bot or live chat widget, something like that. So anyway. Anything else? Anyone else got anything they want to talk about or other questions?
Yeah, I got one that I kind of stumbled on today, Lane, with a client who's a doctor, and just basically came up with a solution to reduce their workload by a substantial amount simply by setting up a contact workflow or funnel that can direct people to, different PDFs to fill out before they go and see the doctor, depending if it's like, ear, nose, or throat. Because they're constantly getting phone calls all the time, from people saying, oh, I want to go see the doctor, this, that, the other, and they've got to say, well, hey, have you filled out this form? Have you got this done? And it's like, nah, I haven't, or they'll rock up and they haven't got the right gear. So we're going to come up with a strategy over the next few days where, honestly, we'll probably save these people, staffing hours easily, probably, 10, 15 grand a year, like start, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they'll be able to focus on other things instead of just handballing these phone calls, these unnecessary phone calls.
You may be able to integrate the knowledge base too to answer those questions. These doctors' offices get all the same questions all day long, and if they don't have a system in place to answer those questions, then there's a staff member who's got to answer the phone and answer the question, answer the phone, answer the question, put people on hold, come back to them. If they're on hold for too long, then they get pissed off and they go leave a bad review. If they had a system in place and someone called in and said, I've got this question, they can say, you can go to our website and right there, look, click on Help Center and click on our knowledge base, and you can type in your question. And it's, this is all Teamwork's help desk or knowledge base. They call it Help Docs. Sorry. Help Docs has contextual search in it. So it literally is like reading all the text that's inside your health topic. And so when you go to their knowledge base search bar and search, it will literally look for every knowledge base article for that word, and bring back your search results. So yeah, definitely helping businesses operationalize and systemize and create efficiencies is huge opportunity.
Another big one, mate, I found was emails. Like no one wants to touch emails. They're just big headache. yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
I went down that rabbit hole though. So I've become fairly a bit of an expert with it. So I've found that I've been able to offer solutions and hook people up just because of that, because a lot of web developers and so forth don't want to touch it.
Say that. What's that again now?
Setting up emails, like domain emails, hosting emails, setting up their whatever they're using. If they're using, what is it, iCloud, or if they're syncing it up with Gmail or Mailbird or whatever else. I find a lot of people don't want to touch email.
That's a huge rabbit hole unto itself, is just setting up email for even for high level or for any other service. If you're going to see other CRM, or if you're going to try and establish your own, do your own email marketing. Yeah, I mean, you've got the DMARC records, you've got DNS, that has to be set up properly for email to work. You got SPF and DMARC records that have to be set up. And if those aren't set up, your email is gonna land in spam, or not land in even spam. It'll just get blocked. And then you've got blacklists, and you need to be monitoring those, because you can end up on a blacklist even for no good reason. And then now you're ending up in the spam box because you're on somebody's blacklist. Man, email's a pain in the ass, but it is a necessary evil. And there are still to this day companies that drive massive amounts of revenue through email marketing, just doing it over and over. But you gotta land in the inbox first. Patrick says, how do you activate the knowledge base? Is that a plugin for WordPress? No, Patrick, inside your Signal Genesys account, just go to the entity in question and then activate Help Center. And then, so you'll activate tier 2. Highly recommend you guys activate tier 2 for all of the app channels. There's advanced SEO automations and enhanced code set running on tier 2. For all of our app channels. There's visual enhancements, there's loading and performance enhancements, and there's SEO automations all running kind of in the background on tier 2 of all the app channels, along with the fact that with tier 2 you get the externally hosted assets, meaning our software is generating the asset and hosting it for you, so you have additional assets generating more signals from the tier 2. So anyway, you just activate tier 2 or tier 1, and then what you're going to do, Patrick, is you're going to have to go get your API key from the Teamwork account. So if you don't have a Teamwork account, the first thing you'll want to do is go get your first Teamwork desk account. You just go to teamwork.com/desk. Pricing, you can try for free. All you really need is one user account on Starter. Truly to unlock the things that you'll need to run the app channel properly. So it's pretty cheap. Just get your Teamwork account. Once you're logged in, then our system will coach you through how to go in and go to desk and go to your profile, generate a new version 1 API key, and grab the API key, and then come in here and paste it. And then same thing with subdomains, help doc sites, inbox. Those are just settings that you're going to grab from within your Teamwork account once that's actually created. So you'll fill this all out and save it. And once that's saved, then I was going to show you what that actually is, but it's not functional on the 2 domains that I was testing it on last week. So I got to let the team know that we've got an issue with Help Center not showing up or loading. Just make sure it's not a cache issue. I have a feeling it's not, but I will just quick check and make sure it's not. Yeah, it's not a cache issue. Yeah, that's it. See if there's any other questions here. What do I recommend for handling email? We are using SendGrid and Mailgun. with high level. So we use high level, and I highly recommend it. It's not perfect. No CRM is, but for an agency, for it to be white labeled and unlimited behind that white label functionality as a CRM and all the things it does with hooking into Twilio and email services or solutions like SendGrid, Mailgun, etc. It's hands down. We make thousands of dollars every month off of our high level account. Like, it's a revenue stream. It's not a cost center. So number one, I recommend high level. And then as far as actually sending email, high level doesn't send email. It'll hook into SendGrid or Mailgun to actually do, for the actual mail servers to send the email. And we use SendGrid and Mailgun. And we use those same SendGrid and Mailgun accounts in all of our WordPress sites using Fluent SMTP to send the email from the WordPress sites. Because if you guys know, native WordPress has major issues with sending email. It gets blocked. So you got to send email through an SMTP service on the WordPress sites. So we set up Mailgun, and what we did to resolve this as a white label, because we send email obviously not just for ourselves, but on all the websites that we host, a lot of the white label hosting that we do, we still got to have that website be able to send email. And so we just created basically like a gray label email domain, I think webmailservice.app or something like that. And so, we use a subdomain of a gray labeled or white labeled domain that we use as our general email account. And we set that thing up right, and we monitor it, and we monitor the blacklists on it. And so we use that domain or subdomain, and it's the way it's set up with Mailgun and SendGrid to send all of our emails. And it's much easier doing that with like one or two email domains versus trying to do like one per client and having it all be unique and different, because then it really gets heavy to manage all that. And if you're not landing in the inbox, you won't even know about it half the time. And other than your stats and your leads will suck. You might know it that way, but how do you know if you don't land in the inbox? Like, other than knowing that your email campaigns are just not performing and producing leads, but you might be saying, hey, our emails suck, the list sucks, or whatever, and you're just not even hitting the inbox, right? So Graham says, grab this from AppSumo.
I know how much you love your LTDs, Lane.
I do.
This
love
one. This one's actually really good, buddy. Grab a code, have a play around with it. It's got some interesting features. It's even got BIMI, which will basically authenticate your logo as well. So you can really, really amp up your authenticity with this thing.
Sweet. I'll definitely check it out.
I've got another one that I use, Easy DMark, that's like a free one. But as you know, buddy, things don't always remain free forever. So at least with this thing, you can actually buy 3 codes. I think it'll do about 150 or 200,000 emails a month. Developers are really good, really responsive. So yeah, have a look.
I guess it won't give me the 2 or 3 code until I sign in. But even with 1 code, unlimited domains and 75,000 emails a month. That's, that'll cover a lot of agencies that aren't even sending that many emails a month across many. But what's the 3 codes? How many emails a month do you get with that?
Buddy, I think it might have been 200,000. I can't remember. I think they talk about it in some of the comments about stacking the codes to 3. Can't remember offhand, buddy.
Good share. Thank you. Yeah, if you sell this to a service business, you better know the stats. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, email's an entire morass unto itself. So any other questions or? if we don't have any other questions, we can call it a night. Yeah, it's right at the top of the hour right now. So yeah, if we don't have any other questions, I'm trying to think if I've got anything else to share with you guys about Signal Genesis. Facebook and Instagram are really close to being done. We're just getting the app channel approved through a new company, if you will. Facebook. We think they just are still slow walking our final approval on our initial app because it's tied to me, and they don't like. I don't think Facebook likes me. I know they don't like me because they already banned me once last year, and so. Anyway, we had to create a separate company that has no ties to me at all. And then that's going through an expedited approval process with Facebook. So that's what's the holdup on Facebook.
Don't get me started, man. When I saw that $290 billion drop, I was just like, you just got your ass handed to you, man.
Yeah, they still are up, they still continue with their games. But anyway, trying to think what else. So our true private labeled instance of the platform, we're not even really calling it a white label. Really isn't the right terminology for it. It's a private labeled instance of the platform on your own domain. Is done. We're done. We're in the final stages of beta testing it. There were a few bugs the team found, and they're clearing the bugs. And that will be offered. I would think I'm hoping still here in February, but I think what else? The blog app channel is really close as well. I've said that for a couple of weeks. But our code set now is so big, it's we have to be really, really careful in pushing new things live, because even though we test in staging, staging is not live production. It's just there's no way to replicate live production. And so when we push things, there are so many different dependencies and so many things that are now happening that it's we're having to just slow down the pace of our releases simply because of the testing that's required, not only in staging to prepare to go to production, but then as soon as we go to production, we got to do quick staging or quick production testing to see if we have, critical bugs that are actually going to, actually affect functionality, or if there's smaller things that we can get along with. So it's just, the app has gotten pretty big. It's doing a lot, but it's going to do even a lot more as we move forward here. All of this functionality will be live for sure within the first half of this year. Blog posts, social posts. We're working on dramatically expanding our distribution footprint and distribution options for agency users. That's already in the works on several fronts. We're not just working on one front with distribution options. We're going to have multiple. We have multiple strategies we're attacking simultaneously regarding around distribution options. Blog posts is going to be a whole nother distribution ecosystem. Reddit is the first iteration of that. So the Reddit app channel is really a blogging platform. And so when you go to create a new blog post, you'll be able to send the blog post to the Reddit channel if it's connected. We're going to have medium.com, wordpress.com, blogger.com, tumblr.com, a couple of the other major ones, plus our own internal blog that you could literally, with integration code, put on a site and literally run a full-fledged blog on the client's website, but which is all hosted by, our app channel versus their native blog. Social posts, you'll be able to have the social posting features of Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Google. I know LinkedIn is in the dev roadmap. YouTube's in the dev roadmap. Oh, that's the other thing we're working on. It's I told Matt I wanted to fast track a YouTube gallery and YouTube app channel functionality so that you can connect a YouTube account and then drop in playlist galleries, the whole channel gallery through integration code. And then that will also have SEO signal generation happening with it as well. So that's something that it's also in the oven cooking. Got some more here. I haven't actually been banned since they just shut down my entire account in December. But that account was like a 12-year-old account or 10 years old, however long. I had a long time, and they just shut me down in December and gave me no option to even get it back. So it wasn't even like a 30-day suspension. It was like a ban. And then I tried to appeal, and they just said, this decision is final. There's no reversing it. And that was that. So I waited a month and created a new profile, and so far been okay. But
I don't think I've ever seen a platform that has treated its customers with such disdain in all my life. Like, even people who spend considerable amounts of money on Facebook ads have had accounts suspended for no reason whatsoever. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it is amazing. You're right. I mean, it's amazing that they get away with, although they're not really getting away with treating their customers like that, right? I mean, we really know they're not getting away. They're losing massive amounts of value. They're losing users. But I mean, I think Zuckerberg at this point is like, hey, I got my billions. He's bought and paid for by the Chinese, so he may be fine with running it into the ground and not ever worrying about it again, because he'll never have to worry about money. I don't know. I know he's really stuck on this whole metaverse thing, and we'll see if that's going to pay off or not. I think the whole idea does creep a lot of people out, even though it's a little bit of intriguing. Like even my kids, I have a 19 and a 20-year-old, and even my boys really like, they know, like, it's pretty cool, but they're like, I don't know. I don't really want to get drawn into all that. So even younger kids, I think, are kind of a little bit aware of it, how, I don't know. I think it'll be destructive living in some alternative universe. We already have people living in an alternative universe, and they're still in this reality, not in some other universe. Anyway, we're getting off topic there fast, aren't we? What happened, Patrick? Why did I get banned? They just said violation of their community standards.
Lane had an opinion. You're not allowed to have an opinion on Facebook. Remember that, folks.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm just assuming it is. I think that they shut down in profiles that are that have an impact, that have a following, that where there's engagement. I mean, I think they also, I mean, I know Facebook definitely is throttling my posts. I know there's like way too few people see my posts. So I think they've figured out ways to throttle certain people. And then obviously the people who they have a hard time throttling, they'll find ways to just, ban your account and for violation of the community standards, whatever that may mean. So yeah, exactly. I really hope that there's some phenomenal new options that open up in the next year to 2 years for social media, and new things that really just cause people, I mean, what happened to MySpace? MySpace became irrelevant. It was a big thing, and they got too big for their britches and didn't evolve or whatever, and it just became irrelevant over time. I'm hoping that happens to Facebook. Yeah, I know, right, Bambi? That's exactly what I'm hoping.
The only thing really holding it together is the Facebook groups, because I remember when they changed the algorithm, like we had a few pages that would do really well, right? So some reach we'd have be in the millions. And then they changed the algorithm, and it went from, getting, say, 500 likes on a post to 5. And I remember Grant Cardone doing a live from his pad there, absolutely eviscerating Mark Zuckerberg about how he just cancelled all his organic reach. He goes, now he goes, I'm already spending $100,000 a month, and now you want me to spend $1 million. And that's what Zuckerberg did. He used all of us to build his platform, right, with our content, right, that people were interested in, and then he just cut it off, right? Yeah. So I don't get to see the topical interests anymore. So guess what's going to happen? I'm just going to start fading away, right? Because I'm not getting what I want. That's why they're all going over to TikTok. See you, Mark.
Yeah. And I don't like TikTok because it's Chinese owned. I mean, I don't even know. I don't really care what. Were they ever really truly split into for the U.S. population? Does anybody know? They weren't. Okay. I know
Microsoft was
Trump was
supposed
trying
to
to
take
force
over,
that,
weren't they?
but that's why I won't use TikTok. I just, I won't put it on my phone. I don't want the Chinese having their tech in my phone. Even though they've got their chips and some of that other stuff, I don't want that app on my phone because we do have app technology, and that's some of what's coming also as part of the Signal Genesys, by the way, too. I don't want to give too much of that away, but in the second half of this year, there will be signals being generated through an app technology that you'll be able to deploy for you and your clients. And that app that they'll deploy to their phone will help generate more signals. Okay. When you have an app installed on somebody's phone, that app can completely take over the phone. So, yeah, that's why I won't have TikTok on my phone, because I don't care what they tell you that app may be doing with your phone, what permissions you think you've given it. No way. No way. So I'm hoping that somebody comes up with something that's, not Chinese owned, like a TikTok or something else that will just eviscerate and make Facebook and Twitter irrelevant. Maybe Truth Social will, but I'm not holding my hopes high. I hear that their first iteration of Truth Social going live here soon won't even have an Android app. It's only going to be iOS only. So I don't know. It's amazing to me that all those billions of dollars can't develop, something to compete with Facebook and Twitter. But anyway, we digress, right?
I'm sure something will come along, buddy. I always reflect back to the Truman Show,
Yeah.
Like what happened to the end? They followed this guy for 30 years and all of a sudden it was like, turn the channel, man. That's what can happen to Facebook. You're never too big to fail in this industry.
Yep, 100%.
You keep treating people like shit and it's going to bite you on the ass, right? And it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to build Facebook groups really. Like, I don't put a lot into our Facebook group just because I don't really want to build a huge community around it. Because you're just building more and more dependency every day in and around Facebook. It's like, I don't want to do that to my business. Speaking of, have any of you guys ever tried Buddy Boss? No one has. I just had our annual renewal just triggered. Actually, no, it was August. I just saw the renewal coming up for this coming year, and Buddy Boss is basically like a Facebook / Twitter for more like Facebook actually for WordPress. Here, I'll put it. They actually have an app that you can get to go along with the online community. It's not cheap, but if you were building something big enough, it would be worth it anyway. But yeah, buddyboss.com. It's pretty good. And it does feel a little bit like Facebook, where you don't, where it's not like Facebook is, like you don't get the automatic refreshing and some of the, some of the features that you get in out of $1 billion, software platform. But it's pretty damn good. This would definitely be the way to go if you wanted to build a big online community and didn't want to build it on Facebook because you hate Facebook and whatever. Buddy Boss is the way to go. And you can then obviously build this whole online community on your own domain. But it does work pretty well. I've tested it and used it, and we actually hold the annual license for it. So I've been meaning to build a community and do something with it. But haven't found the time yet. But yeah, Buddy Boss is a great, I'd say it's probably the best replacement right now for do it yourself, unless there's some things like Discord and Patreon, but even those are pretty wonky, I still think. So anyway. Patrick, I'll drop my email in here too if you want. That's my email, and even right now the Signal Genesys number gets through to me. I've been meaning to hire somebody to start answering the phones, but we don't get that many calls, and it's software, and even so many software companies don't even have a phone number as it is. So I've been kind of hesitating. So right now they toll-free number still forwards to me, so you can call that if you want to. Well, guys, gals, I guess we don't have any other questions. We've trashed on Facebook enough for one night. Yeah.
It's been a good night, Lane.
It's a good night. Well, yeah, exactly. Right. Well, I wish you all the best. I'm actually off to Utah tomorrow. I'm going to do a college visit with my youngest son. So I fly out. I got to leave the house at like 4:15 in the morning to get to the airport. So anyway, yeah, good to be back. Good to be feeling better again. I don't even know if it was COVID or not. I didn't even go get tested. I got sick, and I did what I always did. I rested. I drank more water, took my vitamins, and I got better. Amazing how that happens. Yeah, I got one more off to college, and he's in the throes of trying to figure it out. So we're going to do a college visit at the University of Utah the next couple of days. So that's what I do. What do you mean, Patrick? Heal. Okay. That's funny. All right, folks. Well, all of you have a great night. Good to see you guys, and we'll talk to you again next week. See ya. Take care.
Thanks a lot, Lane. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. You too. Take care. Goodbye.
See you guys. Thanks for joining in. Bye, everyone.